tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove. Synchronized, slurp now, we're on the move.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time.
Talking gold and silver and crypto too. Joe and the gang, it's what we do.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time. We're stacking sats, we're stacking gold. In the world of finance, real gold. Every sip, every chunk, we're on our way to financial freedom, come what may.
So grab that tasty beverage, let's get in the groove. Synchronized, slurp now, we're on the move.
Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time. Good morning, stackers. Yeah, we're feeling fine. Good morning, stackers. It's podcast time.
Good morning, stackers. It is me, Joe Main, going out live on X and on YouTube right now. Gold demand at the COMEX has more than doubled in the first 4 days of the month compared to January. We're going to be talking about that, of course, live gold, silver, platinum analysis, and of course, all the crypto stuff too. Bitcoin, take a look at the general stuff, the altcoin market, and I will take your chart requests for anything. Is it a stock? Is it a crypto? Is it an indices? Is it a, I don't care. If I can chart it, I will chart it, and I will take my first look. But in the first 1 minute or so of the start of the show, we have to do your favorite part of the day, my favorite part too. It is the synchronized slurp. That's where you grab a tasty beverage, I grab my tasty beverage, we slurp them synchronously together wherever we are in the world. It's like bringing everyone together, a little dopamine hit. And the rule is you must do it audibly. And you do it all at the same time. And look, it's the honest system. If you don't do it, we're all going to know, like telepathically. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, slurp your tasty beverage. Ooh, an extra long one today. I am Joe Main. I've been a stacker of precious metals since 2010, gold and silver. Been a stacker of crypto since 2013. All the stuff, been rugged, made a lot of money, lost the money, all that up and down that everyone has done. And I worked for 3 major gold and silver bullion dealers here in Australia: Goldstackers, Bullion Now, Ainslie Bullion, all those big ones that you know and love. Now I do this weekdaily live show all about bringing stacking community together, stacking silver, stacking satoshis, stacking skills, stacking friendships, stacking communities. It's what we do here. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. You do get a warm and fuzzy feeling when you do. Send me an email, gmstackers@gmail.com. Why would you want to do that? For a bunch of reasons. Did you find something at your local coin shop that's a really great find? Or send me a picture of your stack. We'll do subscriber show and tell. Or is there an interesting crypto that you would like me to take a look at? All that stuff. Easiest way to contact me, gmstackers@gmail.com. Also, I help you, your business or your personal brand, launch and grow on social media. I've been very much helping businesses over the last number of years, as many of you know, help their YouTube channels in particular. Then we pair, other social media platform with it. And I've done very, very well for multiple businesses now. It's what I'm very good at. I have individual clients that I help, not just bullion businesses, any kind of business. Send me an email right now. Do you run a business, own a business, or Do you work for a business that you think, hey, could really help boost their social media? That's what I do. And I will charge you money for it, but that's life. Let's have a conversation. Send me an email at gmstackers@gmail.com to start. And of course, few shout-outs. The early birds catch the shout-outs. Good. Nah, not even going to try that. Lance, g'day, Lance. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're sleeping well. Lance is a first-time father. Okay, first-time parents. And Lance, what he does every single show, he starts the show off by saying good morning in a different language. And Guandagnan and GMS. I'm going to say again, that's your Welsh, Scottish, that Highland, I don't know, something like that. That area of, it's European for sure. You tell me what it is, and I try to guess it every time. GMS, hey Lance, getting it up. Exactly. That's a nope. Poor Mrs. is worse in terms of sleep. Yes, man. You're going through the hard yards. Every parent has been there. We feel you. We understand you. We're also a little bit like, it's your turn, bro. Sucked in. It is what it is. Morning, Joe, says Jason Ashworth. Morning, Jason. Good to see you. Chart request for coffee futures. Lance has got it in early. I will take a look at coffee futures. I mean, just from memory, from just hearing in the ether, it's like coffee's through the roof. The joys of parenting. Absolutely. Bloody oath. That's right. Morning, dudes, says Jason Rosana. Great to see you, my friend. It was Icelandic. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Good. Thank you. That just, Björk just came to mind then. Yeah, that was a great song. That swing song that she did, the big band. That was a really good song. That was a great film clip too. Do you remember that in the 90s? The one which he gets lifted up at the end by the, it was great. Anyway, I am digressing. We have a lot of people watching right now. Hit the like button for the algorithm. That really helps, of course. And, of course, the show is brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Wealthstack, wealthstack.com. If you're watching on the replay, use the time codes below to go to all the stuff. I'm going to try and keep this to an hour maximum. We're getting a little bit up there. All right, so let's do it. Let's take a look at the precious metals, and let's take a look at the news of the day. Here we go, people. Let's share it. This is very interesting. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, gold demand, gold deliveries at the COMEX have more than doubled in the first few days of February. Let's read this article. This is from the deepdive.ca, so a Canadian-based website. I'm sure there's many other reports on this. This is just the first one that I found. Gold deliveries at the COMEX have reportedly, reportedly, I don't know what that means exactly, but sure. Have the COMEX reported it? Well, anyway, let's take it all with a grain of salt, but let's read it. Gold deliveries at the COMEX have reportedly soared to record levels in early February. We're 5 days in for Melbourne, Australia time, with around 160 tonnes of gold delivered in just the first 4 days of the month, an amount that more than doubles January's total of 70 tonnes. So in the first 4 days, COMEX have delivered 160 tonnes, whereas in January, they delivered 70 tonne for the whole month. Okay, now we have to take these statistics for what they are. So the big question you ask there, every economist in the world, any trained economist goes, okay, compared to what? So how does that compare to December, or how does it compare to February of the last month of the previous year and all that? So there could be major differences, just, January's a quieter month coming out of Christmas, New Year's, they reopen, the second week of January, for example. So I can see there's a bit of a slower thing. And maybe in February, that's when stuff really starts to kick in. But could it be something else? Let's keep reading. The COMEX, run by the CME Group, is one of the largest and most liquid future trading venues for metals. Yup. While many future contracts never actually require physical delivery of gold, unusually high rates of delivery can signal shifts in market dynamics. Yes, of course. Multiple theories have emerged. So it's a little bit iffy, okay, but multiple theories have emerged to explain the surge. One possibility targets sovereign wealth funds may be taking advantage of recent market volatility to build up physical gold reserves. Okay. Others believe banks could be covering positions in response to various tariff regimes, thereby triggering a spike in demand. So recent post from Zero Hedge. Almost 1 million ounces of gold added to COMEX gold vaults on Friday amid a historic scramble for physical that has pushed the price of gold to record high after record high. We'll take a look at the gold price in just a second. We have made even more brand new high just overnight as well. So like 28.40 something at the moment in terms of USD. Gold has traded as high as, here we go, $2,844 per ounce on Tuesday, hitting new all-time highs. The price action was largely driven by renewed tariff fears. Okay, maybe I've missed some news overnight. As China unveiled retaliatory tariffs on US goods after Trump decision to impose a 10% levy on Chinese imports. At the same time, Trump agreed to delay duties on Mexico and Canada. That didn't take long, did it? We're going to do this. No, we're going to do... It's all chest beating, etc. And of course, most of the time, this is all negotiation tactics, all right? The difference with Trump is he seems to... you believe that he would actually follow through with this stuff. And that's how, because he's always unpredictable. And by design, he's unpredictable. And anyway, so I'm digressing on the thing. But look, I'll put tariffs on you. I'll do this, I'll do that. And then Colombia's taken back its things. Venezuela's taken back their people. Mexico and Canada, just all of a sudden have just come to lovely agreements, right? Trump agreed to delay duties on Mexico and Canada for 1 month in response to measures taken by those nations regarding border security and drug trafficking. Steep increases in physical deliveries have coincided with gold prices hitting record or near record highs in recent weeks. While correlation, now, great ending to this article. While correlation does not prove causation, consistent additions to vault stocks often bolster bullish sentiment. Yes, of course. Consistent with the view on gold as a hedge against economic or political uncertainties. Okay, so what we know, there's been a doubling, according to the report. Some suggestions. Post your comments below. What do you think is behind this? Let's assume right now that this is true. I don't see why the doubling in the first 4 days wouldn't necessarily be true. Someone's maybe leaked some information, who knows? Assuming that is true, what is your opinion on why this has happened? More than doubling in the first 4 days of February. Let's read some comments very quickly. Actually, no, I'll show you the gold price and then we'll go back to the comments. So I'll give you some time to comment. So let's take a look at gold. Gold on the weekly time frame price in US dollars, 2,841 USD. I did post in the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum this morning. I do that every morning before the show. I did talk about, look, record highs, fantastic. I'll show you here on the daily. Here's the daily time frame. I don't think I'm buffering. Let me just double check the comments. Am I coming through fine? Yeah, I think so as far as I'm aware. Give me one moment. I'm just going to double check that I am all coming through fine before the show. Yeah, no problem. All good. So here it is, as I said, right here. We have made a new all-time high in gold. We just shot up from yesterday, so we're at around about 28.10. Around about $40 or so. So we're at a new all-time high of, $2,844 US. Congratulations to all. What I'm going to show you now may not mean a lot now, but it might mean something soon. Okay, so here's what I'm noticing. I'm also doing a lot of learning from other people as well, and I'm learning more about bullish divergences, bearish divergences, and all that kind of stuff. Just want to show you, and it certainly hasn't happened yet, but a couple of things I want to note. I think, and I did post this in that group that I mentioned, we're coming towards another, probably not there yet, but we're coming towards another short-term peak, right? We had this peak here, short-term, right? That was at the 27.90. We then broke back down below the mother of all trend lines. That's the one that goes all the way back to 1980, okay? It's the big one, okay? The fact that we've broken out of there is amazing news in the first place. So it had a test, then it had a short-term dip, okay? Then we've consolidated for a bit. For a while, I was saying 80% sure that we would see lower prices from here. Then that got invalidated by closing above the mother of all trend lines again and holding above it. So my tune changed, of course, as the price changes. Now we're moving in the upward direction. We're coming towards another short-term peak, and I believe that's somewhere between here. It's a large range, okay? I will give you that. So it's very easy for me later on to say, oh, we got into the that peak range right there. Yeah, it's like a $225 range. I get that. No, it's a $325 range. It's huge. I get it. Okay, but I do think it's somewhere between. And I'm not going to go, ha, 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 look at me, that was great, right? But it's somewhere between $28.75, probably not here, but there's a reason why I've got that. I'll tell that in a second. And around about $3,200. Psychological value of 3,000s, maybe around it. And the reason why I think we're going to go through another short-term peak and then a retrace is, if we take a look at the weekly time frame. Now, on the daily just then, you can actually see, and I will go back to the daily, my apologies. To the daily, you can see we have already gone back into extremely overvalued on the relative strength index. Does that mean it tanks from here? No, you can spend many days. Look at this. You can spend many days in extremely overvalued, and then you can even have double dips into extremely overvalued. So, for example, back here in March, okay, we went into extremely overvalued. The price was at around about $2,050. We got to a peak here, and that went to about another $130 up. Then, as the price, now here's the thing though, as the price was going up, okay, this was trending down. Then we had a double top as such. Then the price spiked even more. So, from getting into extremely overbought for the first time, we pumped like $400 roughly US dollars. Cool. And then we started having a flatter movement, but the relative strength index was going down. Okay. But here's what I'm noticing so we are now back in extremely overvalued on the daily, but that means you can still creep up and up and up. Okay. Into that general range, I think. I think 3,200 is probably around about the top for this next short-term peak. Okay, here's something I want to show you, and it's I think it might be a bearish divergence pattern playing out. Okay, on the weekly time frame. So very clearly, right here, you can see, and it's unlikely. I don't think we close the week lower than here. Now, anything can happen, but I don't think we close the week lower than $2,790. That's that previous peak right there. So I think we probably close the week. I've got a couple of days to do it, but we probably peak in an upward direction in the price. Let's say it goes no higher than here, and let's just say that's the peak, right? So there you go. That's an upward direction. However, on the weekly time frame, if we close the week around about these prices and don't absolutely soar through, which we probably won't, you are then going to have a close on the weekly moving down. So that's an upward direction on the fiat dollar price and a downtrend on the relative strength index on the weekly time frame. That would signal some kind of bearish divergence. Well, I would suggest that suggests a bearish divergence, which means, look, the price can still go higher. It means, I think, that the steam is just starting to run out for this recent peak. Okay, that's me. Now, another thing would be also, you're looking for differences in the price and differences in the relative strength index. So, for example, back here, you can see and I'll take it from this peak and here. So right here to there, that's a steeper angle as well. So the angle's going up steeper than there. Okay, so what you're seeing is potentially, if we, finish the week around about here, that's going to be a less steep angle. Okay, from here to here, upward direction. But even though we did close higher, technically, it was a much less steep of an angle. So it does, again, say from around about here, so from that like 2400, 2450 level, that it's just starting to peak a little. The steam is running out a little bit, okay? So that's my opinion. I think we're probably going to go into a bit of a bearish divergence, and that would say eventually we find a peak somewhere, as you do anyway. Price goes up and down. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But I think it's starting to happen now, okay? And I'm calling it anywhere between now. That's probably not going to be now. There's a reason why I've got 2875, but anywhere between there and that sort of $3,200 level. Why is it that 2875? I'm just keeping it just in case it is, because I also want you to take a look at the fact that we've been extremely overvalued on gold on the weekly time frame as well. We've had a move, okay, and then we're at right at the top end of the normal range on the relative strength index as well. That could potentially be setting up, I don't know, it could be setting up for a bit of a dead cat bounce situation, right? And then it just has a bit of a tick over. Not saying 100% it's going to do it, but just watch out from here. And what is the reason for that 28.75 level? I've probably shown you before, but let me show you the 1980s Fibonacci level. See right there, 28. Oh, it's actually technically, no, it's 2,900. Let me double check that, okay? It used to be 28.75, but let me check it. I'll go to the monthly. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm maybe like $25 difference. Let's see. Taking it from the previous all-time high of, let's see here. You can see my dirty forehead. 875. Yeah, it's about 875. And the lows of about $250. Yeah, that's around about right. And you've got the 4.236. Sorry, it's about $2,900, not $28.75. Does it really make a huge difference? No, but give me 1 second. I will go like this, 2,900. So that's actually, it's pretty close enough to that 3,000 value, that psychological value. And I'm going to move that to there. Cool, so call it right there. So 2,900 to 3,200 is where I think we will start to peak at, okay? Again, a big range is a $300 range. I get that. But around here, yeah, we're going to start to have a short-term peak. That could coincide, and again, this is on the monthly time frame, by the way. Each candle is 1 month. So you could have multiple months still where gold keeps going up into this zone. But around here is where something's probably going to happen. I don't know what that is. Is it gold just having a bit of a short-term retrace again? Okay, yeah, people taking profits, all that normal stuff. Or is it something else happening in the market? Okay, I can't get it up right now, but I will. No, I will. I'm going to. I'll get this up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to another tab that you can't see. I'm going to find it, and then I'm going to put it on here. And I'm going to really suggest you take a look at the following. I always love to champion this person, and I'm going to do that. There we go. Give me 1 second, and I'll do that. I really want you to watch this video right here. It is called, Is the Market About to Top? This is from ASX Trader. As far as I'm concerned, probably the best, most accurate trader in all of Australia. Okay, has this amazing course called Mastering the Markets, where literally over it's a full 12-month course. As I said in yesterday's show, I'm actually considering doing this course next year. Probably not this year. Next year, I think I'm really considering it, okay? And just yesterday, came out with a video called, Is the Market About to Top? Key Warning Signs. I'll put a link below in the YouTube description, I think, or in the comments somewhere on the replay. I might even put it as somewhere in X as well. You really want to check that out. It's talking about the general stock market, the S&P 500, okay? And how a market top, there's some signals and a lot of, as he calls, a lot of blinkers, a lot of signals showing the market's about to top. So, having said that, that would, for me, coincide with a topping in gold. And again, this could head up for months, right? But around here, that could potentially coincide with some market instability, let's call it a market downturn, which after gold keeps going higher, potentially, then signals everything going down for a period of, oh my God, it's all over, we're done, GFC kind of stuff. And, the stock market has a quick 10%, 15% move down. That takes everything down at the same time. So I could see that scenario where we get into this kind of area, market goes, oh crap, things are going bad, and then gold, silver, everything, Bitcoin, the whole deal goes down, and then we find that support there, okay? And then that's when gold will, in hard times or perceived hard times, have a quick bounce back. That would be the actual really very good bullish signal for gold, okay? I move up to here, back down to here, and then back up, okay? That would be really good for gold. I'm not saying I want a market crash to happen, because that's not really good for everyone. But yeah, that's the scenario. I could see that happening and having that short-term peak, or it could just be people taking profits. Okay, that too. But those are the two main scenarios. Highly recommend that you check out ASX Traders channel, subscribe to them, and check out this video. It's well worth a watch. He even talks about the altcoin market at the sort of the very end of the video. Cool. That is gold and what I see. Let's take a look at silver. Actually, no, I'm going to go back to your comments. Back to your comments about the COMEX stuff. Okay, very quickly. am I coming through? Let's see. A few more comments here. Let's see. Imagine the US government pulls a massive psych. Oh, a massive like psych is in PH. Yeah, like psychological operation. Imagine the US government pulls a massive psych, like psych, saying they are looking at BTC. Oh, while adding to gold reserves. So they could be saying, Bitcoin strategic reserve. Yeah, sure. But in the meantime, they're like piling up in gold. And then they pull the rug, go, we had a look at it, but I don't think we want to do that Bitcoin thing anymore. It could be interesting. That could be a massive psych. Yeah. What we really do know about Trump, he loves the gold. Okay. He's like gold member, like Austin Powers 3 gold member in real life. Loves gold. I mean, look at the Trump Tower apartment in New York. Yeah, it's just gold laden, right? Loves gold. Interesting. That's an interesting idea. They have been adding to gold reserves. Yes, David Smith. I love the upwards move in the gold price and hate the downside move in Ethereum. Result equals break even. I hear you. Yep. Crypto we're going to take a look at, of course. Ooh, crypto, hey? Let's see. And also I love championing other people. I'm going to share a post as well from ASX Trader. David Smith, they are opposing investments, one being speculative and the other a safe haven. Joe Allen says, need to move superannuation to silver. Yes, superannuation here in Australia. That's the Australian version of a 401k. In the States, retirement fund for wherever you are in the world. So superannuation, and what you can do here is obviously you can have self-managed. Okay, so that means you can put your money almost wherever you want. You can put it into crypto, you can put it into precious metals, put it into whatever. And of course, having served thousands of customers in my time over the bullion industry, I facilitated many self-managed super fund movements from, I didn't set up the self-managed super, but people came in, asked for advice, thinking about putting my super into a self-managed, thinking about putting it into gold and all that stuff. And I've helped a lot of people stack precious metals in their self-managed super fund. Okay. Many people are doing it. A lot more people will be doing it. Okay. And you know what? A lot of people need to know you can actually do it. Okay, so it's a thing. And yes, I agree. Move superannuation into gold and silver, I would probably do at this stage. A 50-50 split is probably the best thing for me. That's what I would do. But that's not financial advice, Joe. Let's take a look at silver. Cool. Here is silver on the monthly time frame. Cool, why not? Price in USD, $32.10. We're creeping up to, and it's great to see the final hurdle, $32.50 US, is the final hurdle for new highs soon. What I mean by new highs is not new all-time highs, okay? Just new highs, okay? We had this move very quickly. I'll just draw in a new one, just for the newbies. Cool. We had the breakout. This is the monthly time frame. Each candle is 1 month. This is the silver price. I'll pull out to the ultra macro as well. Going through a massive cup and handle, a 44-year cup and handle on silver. It is one of the greatest opportunities that you could ever be in. Okay, generational wealth here we're talking. Okay, over the next 5-10 years, possibly even longer. Triple-digit silver, no problem, coming easy. We're at $32 right now. We are going to 100 plus. No problem in the next 5-10 years. Okay, I say almost guaranteed, barring a meteor hitting the Earth. Okay, basically it's a lock-in. Okay, price is going to go up and down in the meantime. So the previous all-time high, $50, which is matching the 1980 $50 mark. Okay, I'll bore you with that. Give me 1 sec. There you go, 1980s. Come on. There you go. No, cool. Okay, anyway, there you go. 1980, $50. 2011, $50. Cup, handle, moving higher. We finally broke out. So it sounds so monotone. We finally broke out here, broke above that $18 level. Since then, it has just been rocketing up, except, a bit of a consolidation between, say, 2020 and 2022. Cool. Move up happening. $32.50 is the final hole for new highs. Okay, so we had this little spike. Now, interestingly, what did we do? We spiked in October, but we closed at around about that $32.50 level, okay? Spike to $32.50, spike to $32.50, spike above $32.50 to $35, closed at $32.50. Very key level, okay? So we've had that move. Potential now, and I did talk about, let me get rid of the best buy zone. I just want to get rid of that. Best buy zone? Where are you? Oh, it's a rectangle, you motherfucker. Trendline retracement, rectangle. No. Best buy zone, go away. All right, right here. Now, I was talking about a potential head and shoulders, which I don't think it is because it's too slopey. Okay, it's way too slopey. The neckline's not matching. Okay, so more likely than not, we do see a breakout here. Okay, you can always tick over. Just bear in mind, okay, this could become resistance. Yeah, I don't give you definites, right? I don't say definitely yes, definitely no, okay? That could, yeah, you could do that, sure. Less likely at this stage. It's more likely that we do punch through this month in silver, and that what we really need to see is it close the month. So we don't want to see another spike like this. We want to see a solid green above $32.50 in February, okay? Hey, it could come up to here. We're 5 days into the month. Could shoot through, okay? But that would be very positive. You start closing any month above $32.50, and that is continuing go time for silver. And that will take you up to the next and the final hurdle at $38.50. It's a key Fibonacci level from the old highs of the 80s, the old lows of the 90s. It's the 0.786. What do I say about the 0.786 from old significant highs and old significant lows? Very key level to watch out for. It is the final hurdle for me to say that if when, and it is a when, it's not an if, we will. I'm like so sure of this, okay? We will eventually break and close any month above $38.50. You might find some resistance here. That's why I have it in there. You start closing any month above $38.50, that is, oh no, we're going back to $50 very quickly, okay? And then the third time, you'll probably see some resistance, okay, at $50. Of course, like, triple tops aren't usually a thing. So it's not like we would go, $50 in 1980, $50 in 2011, hit $50 again, and then just, back down. No, it's not going to do that, okay? Triple tops aren't a thing, okay? But, yeah, up here, maybe back to 38.50, maybe even back to 32.50, something like that. But then that will soar through eventually in the years coming. Ignore that time frame, okay? It could be way quicker than that. But yeah, we're going to triple digit silver. But it all does sit around closing above that $32.50 level, and that's why I'm talking about it right here. It's great to see us coming back up to test it, and look, quite likely it gets taken out this time, okay? We've had 1, 2, 3 tests, broke out, failed to hold, another test. This is probably getting to it. The more times you test it, the more likely you are to take it out and hold it. This is probably the time that we do it. Yeah, you can always butt up against it and do that again, sure. Actually, now that I look at this, that is a scenario that you need to watch out for. This could be an epic inverse head and shoulders pattern happening that I just noticed right now, which probably many other people have noticed and gone, Joe, it's taking you so long. Okay, this could definitely be an inverse head and shoulders, which is incredibly bullish. Left shoulder, head. This is on the daily time frame. Possibly expect some resistance here. If you find some resistance, come back down to this general level. I will even give it to you here, but maybe down even to that $30 level. And you do that, and you break the neckline, you break $32.50. Holy crap, that is absolute confirmation signal that we are just onwards and upwards from here, okay? So watch out for those two scenarios. The two things you want is either just, hey, great, breakout, retest, good, or you want to see this, which is actually be a great setup, down to maybe the lowest there, do that, break that neckline, and then here we go. So those are the two main scenarios I'd be looking at, and I am going to keep that in for now. Good on me for finding that eventually. I'm sure others have seen that way before me and reported on it. Oh, well, that's it. That is silver, looking great at the moment. Cool, cool. Let's take a look at platinum. And we will be doing Bitcoin, crypto market, maybe take a chart request or two as well. I've had a request for coffee futures, apparently, so I'll probably take a look at that for Lance. Poor old Lance, who is a new father and has no sleep. Isn't that funny? Lance is getting no sleep and wants me to look at coffee futures. Anyway, this is Platinum. Platinum on the... Where are we? Daily time frame price in US dollars, 967 US dollars. Not a lot to say. We're still in that area where, gee, what do you know? We found that exact resistance at the trend line that goes back to February of 2021. Okay, don't worry, it's there. Just trust me, bro. There you go. Right there. We found resistance exactly there. Cool. As somewhat suggested that we would. Okay. The good news is we did break up. We did not break 930. It was a quick move in the opposite direction. And so far, this is playing out. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. This one. So far, this is playing out pretty much to a T. Okay. Found the bottom around about there. That's actually really good. Exact resistance there. Now what we're looking for potentially is a bottoming out here, and then onwards and upwards we go. That's what we want to see. Obviously, if you want to see platinum go higher, you want to see the price go higher. If you want to see it go higher, a couple of things I might just caution you. Is there anything that I'm noticing on the relative strength index? Any divergence kind of happening? Give me a moment. I think I saw it the other day. This was on the weekly time frame. Yeah, okay, weekly time frame. Couple of things. Oh, actually, is it not? No, it's actually not. Now you've got a lower high, a major lower high on the weekly, a major lower high on the weekly, and we're going to close it. We're not going to close this week above there, so it's going to be a lower high again. Now that actually tracks with the relative strength index as well. So there's nothing setting up yet for any kind of bullish divergence. So yeah, so for example, if I saw the price going down, but then this closing above. So if we close this week, lower than this major peak, but then we closed higher on the relative strength index, okay, if you closed around about here, that would say that going down, that going up, bullish divergence, that would be looking really good for the price. I just teased you with that. It's not happening, all right? So everything's moving in the same direction, basically. It's all matching up pretty much. Okay, so yeah, all I want to see is that move, as I said. You just want to see that thing. You would like to see that continue. Otherwise, if we have a false breakdown, watch out for the best buy zone. I still have the best buy zone in platinum at 900, anywhere down to 750 US dollars. We happened, and I've had this drawn in for a long time, I think way before here, actually, before we broke here. So we did test my best buy zone at 900 once. We tested it twice. Hopefully, we don't do it a third time. But if you do it a third time, you're probably going to the belly of the best buy zone. Okay. But yeah, so far so good. I am in the cautiously optimistic zone. When we get to here, I'll be cautiously excited. And then when we get anywhere above here, I'll be excited for platinum. But yeah, cautiously optimistic for the moment. Cool. That is platinum. Gold to silver ratio is dropping a little bit. Okay, it's in silver's favor in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, cool, whatever. We're still in pretty high territory. So gold has still been sort of the trend at the moment. And on the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, interesting. Could a turnaround be happening here? A little spike down on the weekly time frame, down to 60.8 cents. Okay, so the Australian dollar is currently continuing to weaken. You've got some major resistance here. So technically it is still very much in a bear market. Nothing's changed in terms of its major market structure or anything like that. So all signs still pointing to lower prices. Just watch here on the weekly RSI. We have gone into extremely undervalued. Okay, so you could see a continual potential move higher in the next couple of weeks. So the Australian dollar strengthening against the US dollar. Technically, that's not good for anyone holding US dollars. Okay, Australians holding US dollars, like I am. I'm holding a bunch of my fiat dollar dry powder in USD currently. I don't want to see that go up. I want to see that continue to go down. So the value of my value of the USD and AUD is going up. Okay, but yeah, I could see a potential move in the next couple of weeks up to test this area again, so this uptrend line, but I'd be probably expecting resistance at that point and then ticking over and back down. Okay, so it's still bearish at the moment, and that would be, you know, posting a lower high. Yeah, and just coming up to test resistance. All right, that's it. But yeah, probably looking for a test of around about 65 cents. Might be on the cards. Cool. That is all that. Comments and then crypto. No other comments, people. All right, that's good. Have lots of people watching. I'm going to double check that we are still going out. I like to check that every single time because I don't want to be buffering. Looking for a test of around about 65 cents. Nope, we're good. Fantastic, people. Let's do some live Bitcoin crypto analysis. Then I will probably get out of here. Maybe take a quick look at coffee futures as well. Let's quickly run through all that stuff. What am I doing right here? But first, buy from Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. You know them, you love them, best bullion dealer of all Australia. Give you free shipping when you buy over 20 or more items. They're the best. You know they are. I won't spruik them anymore. perthbullion.com.au. Go to wealthstack.com. Wealthstack.com, Australian owned, operated and regulated, unallocated gold program backed one-to-one with real physical metal. It's perfect for those people who don't want to buy all the physical, but they still want exposure to real physical metal. Okay, download it for Android or iPhone. It's an Android iPhone app. Here is the UI, the user interface, and here's what it looks like. To download it from the relative stores that you would be downloading it from. Wealthstack, one word. There's the logo. There's the UI, the user interface. All on the up and up, of course. Real physical metal. And you've got to input your ID and go all through all those security checks. And the question you would ask is, well, how much am I buying gold for? You're buying gold for spot plus 1% only. It's not 10%, 5%, 20%, 30%. It doesn't matter how much gold you're buying through Wealthstack, whether you buy $1 million of gold or $10 of gold. That's that's the minimum. You can buy $10 of gold and they're not going to charge you spot plus 40%, okay, which it probably would be if you're trying to buy $10 of physical, like a physical bar of gold. I don't even know what that would be. That's like, you know, infinitesimal, right? But it's just spot plus 1%. That's all, okay? That's great. Down with the roadmap, the silver is coming, a debit card is coming, physical deliveries will be coming eventually, but that's on the roadmap, okay? They're just doing gold for the moment. It's great. Wealthstack, wealthstack.com. Do check them out. Cool. Let's now go to my crypto side of things. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin and the altcoin market. Ooh! Interesting. All right, here is Bitcoin on the weekly time frame, priced in US dollars, 97,900. It does not look like it is going to close the day above 100,000 or above 101,000, which is what we really needed. Okay, I'd be cautioning you here, and many people have been cautioning you just recently about Bitcoin. This is the index, this is the Bitstamp price. Okay, let's take a look. Man, get rid of all those. Oh, I don't remember getting rid of that one, whatever that brush tool was. Yeah, no, I'll get rid of that brush tool. Here is some trend lines that you need to have a look at very clearly. That's the final hurdle. That's the must close above there. Yeah, we've done that. Close weekly below there, and down she goes. Yes, and any other trend lines is the big one. Nope, that's not it. Give me a moment. Trend line. Trend line. There we go. That's it right there. Okay, so let's take a look at it on the daily time frame. We closed above yesterday. We closed above. Now, this is why I keep telling you, don't look at daily closes for something like Bitcoin that has been around for a long time. If you're looking at something in the market that's just been around for a couple of months, yeah, you can look at daily closes, okay, because the historical chart isn't that large. But with a historical chart that now goes back to 2009, okay, you don't consider daily closes to be confirmations, okay? It's at least got to be weeklies and preferably monthlies, okay? This is case in point right here. And we did talk about it. It was good to see it closed the day yesterday above that $101 value. Now, I've got it here at 100K, so I'm actually going to move that to 101 because that matches up with my Fibonacci level. Give me 1 second and I'll show you what the hell I'm talking about. Fib retracements. There you go. Is that it? That's that 101. There you go, right there. That's it right there. And this is from the recent high and the recent low. Well, the recent old high and the recent low. I don't consider the new all-time high here to really be something. I mean, technically we got to 100. Technically it was a higher high, but really we're taking it from this high and this low. Okay, you've got the $101,000 mark. Okay, that's at the 0.618. Okay, very key level. It has failed to hold numerous days. It did it up here, great. But it has failed to hold on the weekly time frame. Let me show you the weekly. Okay, 101,000. Now you could comfortably call that the psychological value of 100,000, but just technically on this Fibonacci, it's at 101. Now we did do it once. Okay, we did it back here. We closed it. Okay, but we failed to spike above and close above. Sorry, we spiked above. We failed to close above the final hurdle of $104,200. Okay. Failure, failure, failure. Now we closed below. We had that big move, liquidated a lot of longs down here. We went all the way back down to 91,000. And we've had a spike up to 102,000. But we are very likely not. And look, the weeks, we've got a number of days. So yes, we can creep back up. But you are definitely not going to see a close above $101,000 today. We're not going to do that in the next 42 minutes. Okay, until the start of the new day trades. We're also going to be below probably this Fibonacci level, quite possibly, of 98,000. That's setting up for potential lower moves, okay? On the weekly time frame, you really do want to close in the green, preferably. If you start closing red, and I will say, if you start closing the week below 96,400, roughly $96,500. That's that Fibonacci there. That's the 0.382. If you start closing the week below there, probably in another test, okay, of this uptrend line. This is the one that goes all the way back to the previous all-time highs in March and of 2021. Okay, that's that trend line. I know it's looking a little bit busy. Sorry, particularly if you're watching this on a small screen. But yeah, we are not out of the woods. As I've been saying, we're not out of the woods yet for Bitcoin. Okay, it needs to close and hold a week above $104,000 roughly. Okay, it's got to close above here, and it has failed to do that so far. So still in no man's land. Many people are saying, no, man, this is distribution. This is just the up and down and the up and down. This is kind of like the Bart pattern, the Bart Simpson pattern that people talk about before a larger move down. You have to be really weary and really keeping it in the forefront of your mind that Bitcoin might be done here. Okay, not saying it is, not saying we're going to shoot for the moon from here, not saying we're tanking from here, but you just have to have that in the back of your mind. Why? Well, because of this pattern that we're just talking about also, and also there's no confirmation above that sort of $104,000 area for me, and also on the relative strength index. Don't forget, we already went into extremely overvalued on the weekly time frame, and we have been moving down. Also note some bearish divergence as well. Let me get rid of this here, and I'll get rid of all this flotsam and jetsam, and then you can see that a little more clearly. Cool, great. So this is on the weekly time frame, and this is where we had the spike to here. Okay, it wasn't even here, it was here. Okay, so yeah, okay, so we had that spike to there. So on the weekly time frame, that weekly spike to that weekly spike is a very much an upward direction. Okay, and very clearly you can see it was a bearish divergence because we did see the price going lower. But from that same area, that's from like there to there. Okay, so that's very much moving down, and a very steep angle too. Steep angle moving up in the fiat dollar price, steep angle moving down on the relative strength index. Bearish divergence. Okay, start of bearish divergence, and this could be the distribution phase where people are just taking their profits along. Oh, a bit of a dip. Oh, it gets here. Now this could be a sign for it. Okay, we have a higher high, but it's a spike, and it's quite a lower higher high. Okay, you can see that arc potentially forming right here. Okay, that kind of arc thing where we do something like that, maybe even come back up here to test it, and then it hits the side of the arc on this side, the dome or the arc, and then I'm not saying that's happening 100%. You just have to be aware of it. Okay, so we could see lower prices in Bitcoin, which would also take altcoins right down. Okay, so here's the monthly time frame. Now, having said all this, okay, hey, we're above this trend line. That's good. We closed the last month above the trend line. Great. We had a spike below. So here's the positives. We had a spike below and then a close above it. That's great. We just had a spike below, and we're only in the first 5 days of February. We really got to close over that kind of market. At least we've got to start getting into green. But look, that can happen. Okay, look, we haven't closed the month below, but obviously if we close in the red and we close anywhere down here, February down here, so we don't even have any kind of green month, and it just closes around here. And I would say probably watching out for, there you go, there's that 96.4. There's that Fibonacci we talked about, okay? That's right. There you go, right there, 96.4. So if I pop that on right now and I pop on that Fibonacci, it matches, lines up exactly on the monthly open and close, okay? So if you start closing below 96, it's the same thing. Close of the month below there, not a great sign. That's probably signals lower prices coming. Cool. Just bear all of that in mind. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. And the bearish divergence. If I look at this on the monthly, do I notice anything? Well, we haven't closed the month, so no. Just be aware. Cool. That is Bitcoin. Let's take a look at others. Others is the altcoin market minus the top 10. We are still trending down on the relative strength index. What do we notice? Any bearish divergence happening here? Excuse me. As I've said previously, I am fully parked, almost fully parked. A bit of dust here and there because I've been in crypto since 2013. So I've got a smattering of crap since, altcoins really start going in sort of like 2015, okay? But I have a smattering of things, but I'm mainly all in USD at the moment, and I'm waiting for some confirmations, okay? What do we notice here, though? Here, and this is where, very smartly, someone like ASX Trader, who I am, championing a lot because they're really good at what they do, noticed that on the monthly time frame, hey, you had a high here, and then you had a higher high, but on the relative strength index, it had a lower low. And that is where ASX Trader decided to get out of the altcoin market completely. And I can in hindsight, I can see absolutely why that happened, okay? That is bearish divergence, moving higher. That is closing lower. And we are currently trending down on the relative strength index. We do have this little support level. Again, look, crypto can redeem itself and can come back from here. So we're not out of the woods. We haven't confirmed 100% lower or 100% higher yet. If I look at that on the relative strength index, and that kind of matches up roughly with, if you want to call it that, you could call it that if you want. Okay, so we're in a trading range in this sort of triangle-ish kind of area right there. On the relative strength index, though, if you start closing months below here, that would kind of coincide with below here, and then down she goes for crypto. So be very aware. Personally, I am out of the market. I've got all my dollars in fiat dollar value. Again, a smattering of crypto, which I think I've got like 400, maybe something, $500 in stuff that I could reasonably sell just in a chunk, rather than doing selling 50 different things since 2015 and getting like $10 here, $5 here. I'm not going to do that because the gas fees would be too high. But I've got one that I'm still in, which is worth about $400 now. I'm thinking about taking that out too. Okay. And just waiting to see what happens. Waiting to see if we confirm either way. If we confirm that we're going down below here, crossing below that 230 and closing, not spiking down, but closing below 230 billion. Who knows where that low is? Okay, I don't know, but that spells pretty bad stuff for the altcoin market. And for me, probably, and I think many others agree, I've been talking about the $330 billion area. I want to see it close above this downtrend line. First off, got to get above the downtrend line, close above 330 billion. I'll start scaling in maybe. The ultimate confirmation is somewhere between that $370 to $400 billion level. You start closing above in that area. I was like, oh, okay, this is, onwards and upwards, and great. Good news, right? Fantastic. Let's do this. I don't want to see this. I want to put my USD holdings back into crypto to ride the altcoin season 2025. That's what I want. So I want to see this. I struggled with my patience yesterday. As you know, I was getting quite impatient because it sucks. Being patient is very, very hard. But sleeping on it and all that, you've just got to wait. Okay? Waiting for that confirmation. This would be great. Do that. Mwah, chef's kiss, onwards and upwards we go. Then we'll talk higher prices, and then you've confirmed that it is a continuing bull market for altcoins. That is not the case at the moment. I am almost fully out at this stage. Cool. That is the altcoin market. Don't think I'll do anything else. I won't do a Toshi one. I will do a separate Toshi video for my Toshi fan people. Okay, but I've done BTC. Let's take a look at XRP. Look, again, it's like the altcoin market. XRP is not doing, it's above its normal, it's above, sorry, where are we? It's above, it's back below, sorry. So now we're back below the final hurdle for new all-time highs at $2.60. So we're back below the final hurdle. Okay, if I think we're indeterminate for general crypto, then I have to say it's indeterminate yet for XRP and every single other altcoin at the moment. Bear in mind, we have gone into extremely overvalued already on the monthly time frame on XRP, trending down at the moment. Hey, we could bounce here and then head onwards and upwards. Okay, everything's looking a little iffy at the moment. Now, there might be select crypto that for some reason balk the trend and just are just doing great guns in the moment. Okay, cool. Good luck to you if you're in them. The general crypto market, indecision at the moment. General Bitcoin at the moment, there is indecision. Okay, gold and precious metals are definitely favored at the moment. Cool. That is it. And I will take a look at coffee futures very quickly. Take a couple. Hi everyone, says Alan Ritter. Great to see you. Now, if you're watching this on X right now, congratulations. If you want to take part in the live chat, go to my X account, click on the link in my bio to my YouTube channel, find the live show, and you can comment away because you can't do live chat through this Twitter thing at the moment. Good to see you, Alan Ritter. Fantastic. Let's take a quick look at coffee futures, hey? So here Lance wants to take a look at coffee futures. Why not? Let's do a real quick look and then I'm going to end this in the next 5-10 minutes. Cool. Let's see. Go back. XRP. Let's take a look at coffee futures. I don't even know where to find that, but that's going to be in what? Stocks, futures, forex, indices? I'm just going to go coffee. Let's see what happens. Coffee cash contract, coffee CFD, coffee stocks, US coffee futures. Okay, I'm going to go coffee future. Maybe we do that. Coffee futures, Robusta coffee futures. I'm going to try that one. Then I'm going to go back and do coffee cash contract. Sure, Pepperstone. And where are we? US coffee futures, that one. Okay, there's a few. Let's take a quick little look. KC1. Let me have a look on the monthly time frame. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. This goes all the way back. This goes back a while. Okay, good. This is pretty good. This is very good historical stuff. Let's go back to the 3 monthly. Oh, wow. Cool. Okay. So this is coffee futures. This is the KC1 index, the KC1 thing. Okay, let me just take a look at coffee and this one. They're all the same price too. Okay, this is coffee cash contract Pepperstone. This historical data is not as long, so I'm going to discount that because that goes back to 2016, and this one here, KC1, goes back to way before then, and this one here is very, very short. So delete you. We are doing KC1. Let's take a look. Cool. Here we go, people. Let's take a look at coffee futures. Why not? This has been a request from Lance, one of my regular subscribers, who I have a good feeling has got coffee on his mind because he's a brand new father for the first time, completely in the newborn territory, not getting any sleep, and funnily enough, he asks for coffee futures as the chart request. Is that because you're trying to buy low right now because you need to stock up for the next few months? That's not a bad idea. Here's coffee futures. As you can see, this goes all the way back to 1973. This is the most historical data that I can see very clearly has been in a current bull market. Now, As coffee futures go up, that means the price of coffee is going up. But you've got to understand, and I've forgotten the term. There is a term, and we used to use it for silver. And the version was, oh look, people are getting worried. Silver could go. There's a technical term for it. It's named after someone. It's something law. I've forgotten what it is. But it's as the price of a commodity goes up. Oh, that means that the price of that commodity in the retail sector is going to shoot through the moon. No, not necessarily, because when you talk about it from a silver perspective, so for example, silver could go to $100 an ounce, where it's $30 an ounce right now, and then people go, oh, that means silver is in every single electronic product. That means electronic products are going to go through the roof. Well, no, because the amount of silver that is in an electronic product is like 1/10 of an ounce of silver, or maybe, half an ounce of silver. So basically companies like Apple and whatever making all electronics, they can just price that in. So it doesn't mean the price of the new Apple Mac laptop is going to be, $20, $50, $100, $200 more. It might be like, they'll probably just eat that cost, okay? So the same thing with coffee. I don't think that means our coffee prices are going to go absolutely through the roof, because we don't use a lot of it every single day. We only use like a little fraction, right? But anyway, it is still going well. And if you want to get into coffee futures, man, it's been an interesting time. So let's take a quick look here. Do a general trading range. Very easy to see. And I'm going to look at the relative strength index and do maybe some Fibonacci to see where some potential highs are. But very clearly, like, here's your main trading range. And you could call it, I'm going to call it from this close to that. Yeah, there we go. So right there, this is the quarterly time frame. Each candle is 3 months. Okay, it's going all the way back to the 70s, man, when I was born, 1978. And the general range, what are the outlying ranges? I'm going to call it here at the bottom. So about there, that's your general trading range, which we've been in since the early 70s. Okay, $300 and the low of about $50. Okay, so in terms of a price range, so it's been in this 550% trading range since the 70s, and it just goes up and down and up and down. However, we've just broken out of that range for the first time since the 70s, okay? This is very interesting, and just in the last few months, okay? So that probably means we might be starting to get into some kind of new normal, all right? You now want to be watching out for the top end of this range, and you call it around about, call it $300 even, okay? That might become your potential new range, new support level. Now, we're probably not confirmed that just yet, but look, on the relative strength index, we're already in extremely overvalued, okay? And we're basically matching the previous time it was extremely overvalued, right here back in 2011. From just a general higher and lower perspective, am I noticing anything? Well, let's see. We've got about a month. We've got about 2 months until the close of this quarterly candle. So if you can close higher up in here, just bear in mind we're in extremely overvalued already. Okay, so we're in all-time high territory, and we're extremely overvalued on the quarterly time frame. A top is going to come, obviously, a top comes, but look, on the relative strength index, you can spend a lot of time in there. Again, it takes a bit of time to tick over. And again, do understand that each candle is 3 months worth of time. But from around about here, you're starting to look peaky-ish, okay? Doesn't mean it's done. Fibonacci, let me just take it from the old high in the 70s. I'm going to take it to the old low of all the way down here in the 2001. So the major area I would look out for is right here at 530 US dollars. I'm going to give you almost a guarantee. This is almost a guarantee, okay? We're extremely overvalued on the quarterly time frame, okay? We've broken out of that range. We're above the previous all-time high. Fibonacci on the very long term, again, coffee futures going all the way back to the 70s. I think quite likely that's where you see a topping out on a quarterly time frame. So I'm looking very heavily, and I'm going to give that in like an 80% chance, pretty close. I even want to go 90% chance. But yeah, probably here at your $530, technically $528, call it $530 area. I'm going to call that a major area of resistance. Cool. Let me pop that in. Now, I could be wrong here and coffee just shoots through the freaking moon. But let's say 530, major resistance. Cool. Resistance. Okay, $530 major resistance. Okay, that high, that low, Fibonacci. There's going to be a million people looking at that Fibonacci and going, oh, it's the 1.618. That's usually an area that you find when you break out of an all-time high, you come up to test that. So watch that on the quarterly time frame. So yeah, that's what I'm expecting. So 530, and I'm nearly done with this, and then we shall get out of here. That's my rectangle. That's my brush. So yeah, I'm expecting a peak there and probably a retest of the previous high of $340. That's what I'm looking at. Bounce, resistance 530, come back to test it, and from there, then we got to see what happens, right? Do we head back into the normal range, and then we'll talk about lower prices. That's what I'm seeing, a top at 530. If I'm wrong, the next major top will be probably here at the 2.618. Okay, and that's at $830. So I'm not saying, I'm giving that a 20% chance at this stage. I really think 530 is your main one, but I'll pop it in just for S&Gs. 830, 20% chance top. Okay, right there. Major resistance. That's what I'm saying in coffee futures. That's it. Because we're in extremely overvalued already. If I take a look at the monthly, what are we doing on the monthly? Yeah, extremely overvalued on the monthly. Yeah, 530 is it for me. Really watch that. And if that occurs, I want you to come back to me and go, oh, hey, by the way, Joe, you were really correct on that $530 call because I want my props, people. Give it to me. That's coffee futures. That's it. But sorry, Lance, you may have to pay a little bit more for coffee. Sorry, bro. Let's see. Final comments and we'll get out of here. If there's none, I will just get out of here. That's pretty much easy. If the market doesn't pull, if the 24 karat says, if the market doesn't pull back, silver looks like it wants to rip. Yes, if the general, as we talked about, if the general stock market doesn't have that pullback, then silver will and gold will. Okay, the only thing stopping gold and silver at the moment is, well, actually, let me think of that. No, because a drop in the market would have a short-term drop in gold and silver, but then the capital rotation from the stock market into precious metals would be occurring. So, yeah, really, there's nothing really stopping gold. It's probably going up, no matter whether the stock market continues to go up, which it doesn't forever. We're due for there's no point really talking about it. We're due for a downturn anyway. So it will pull back. So yes, if the market doesn't pull back, silver looks like it wants to rip. But if the market pulls back, gold and silver would have a bit of a dip with everything, and then would continue its rip anyway. Greetings, everyone. The MR Investor Channel. Great to see you on the show. I would love to check out your channel. And if I like what I see, contact me, the Mr. Investor Channel. Contact me. Send me an email at gmstackers@gmail.com. gmstackers@gmail.com. I want to check out your channel, and maybe you can come and join me on my channel, or maybe I even join you on your channel. Okay, that'd be great. Let's do some collabs. It's all about collaborating and building the community. So I'd love to talk to you, Mr. Investor Channel. Thanks for joining us. You like the Pepperstone one? Oh, okay. The Pepperstone one? Yeah, no, that one is better. Yes, that one is better. Yeah, that's it, people. All right. We have 160 people watching between X and YouTube, but now I have to go because we're over the 1 hour mark. You have been watching Good Morning Stackers with me, Joe Main. Precious metals analysis, Bitcoin and crypto analysis. I've said what I've said. Use the time codes below if you're watching this on the replay. Or you're at the end of the show. You've already watched all the way through the end. You know what I'm saying. Go back and watch what you missed. And I'm getting out of here. The final thing we do, of course, is the synchronized slurp at the beginning of the show and bookend it at the end. And we also add We just dance it out too, people. You get this week daily live show. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the GMS family. Follow me on YouTube and follow me on X as well at x.com/it's Joe Main. 3,300 followers there, 1,240 something followers, 20 something followers on YouTube. You're joining the winning team basically. So join the winning team, people. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been
Good morning, Stack.
Oh yeah, we're feeling fine.
Good morning, Stack.
It's podcast time.
Grab It.
Grab a tasty beverage. Let's get in the groove.
Let's do the
Synchronized slurp.
3,
Now we're
2,
on
1.
the move.
Slurp it.
Good morning, Stack.
What a great day. Thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and see you all tomorrow. Bye.